Welcome back to the show. North Central Sports Information Director Clark Teuscher joins us now. Clark, let's get right into it. Cardinals men's track and field, another great performance over the weekend, and a lot of the usual suspects getting it done. Yeah, business as usual, really. Running away with the team scores at a team of 7 or 8, meet of 7 or 8 teams. So kind of a warm-up dress rehearsal for the conference meet this weekend. And yeah, you talked about it right there. Big weekend for the team coming up, I believe, trying to get 11 straight conference titles. What are some things that they need to do to be able to bring home that trophy? Yeah, they're trying to go 11 for 11 indoors. It's a meet that they've dominated every single year. And basically just get what they've been getting is the top performances out of the top guys. Those guys have been consistent performers throughout the indoor season. There's no reason to think that they're not going to do the same this weekend at Illinois Wesleyan. And another big moment for that team, for the program actually, you know, at halftime of the men's basketball game last weekend at Augustana, the banners getting unveiled. Yeah, the indoor and outdoor national championship banners from track and field last season. We had a large majority of the teams that were competing at those meets unveiling those for the crowd at the senior night game against Augustana. Well, the halftime ceremonies were a big deal, but the game ended up being bigger. Let's take a look at the highlight.
Kyle Nelson and the number 3 Vikings come into Gregory Arena trying to spoil senior night for Brian Evans and NCC. We go straight to the second and Landon Gamble taking over. First he pivots hard into the paint for 2. Then Kevin Gillespie puts a stop to the Viking fast break. He takes it the length of the floor and drops it off to the freshman. Gamble's not done yet. He fights the double team and the tough contact, dropping in the bucket. The free throw makes it a tie game. Down 2, the inside-out game puts the Cardinals up 1. Jack Burchett to Gillespie, 28-27 North Central. Gillespie's feeling it from the same side in transition. The triple puts the Cards up 3. Now he's trying for 3 in a row. He can't, but CJ Goldthree's got his back. The big putback from the rookie gives NCC a 7-point lead. But the Vikings are number 3 in the nation for a reason. Bryant Boyle's doing work in the lane. The senior makes it a 1-point game. Now under 15 seconds, Augie has a chance to tie, but Brian Desimone takes too many steps, and the Cardinals get a big upset to close out the regular season.
Clark, with that win and a little bit of help from the Illinois Wesleyan Titans last night, it looks like you guys are going to be a little bit busier this weekend. Yeah, it's kind of interesting with how things can turn out that way in the last week of the season. 4 days ago, the men's team was 2 games out of first place, and after last night, they're tied for first place and hosting the conference tournament for the first time. So it's the first league title for North Central since 1990. So certainly a big accomplishment for those guys, considering how young the team was, especially. So we'll be hosting a conference tournament and trying to lock up a spot in the NCAA tournament the next week. Definitely big things on the line, and I know Augustana, a team that obviously we saw last weekend, but the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan, the Wheaton Thunder, the other 2 teams involved in the tournament. You got a quick scouting report on either of them for us?
Well, I mean, Wesleyan, both games against North Central went into overtime, so certainly no reason to expect anything less than a battle to the end there. Wheaton and Augustana both have strong post players that they rely on, so they're probably going to throw the ball in quite a bit. They also have spot-up shooters on the outside that shoot pretty well. Should be a fairly high-scoring game, I would think, and the team that wins this weekend is going to have to earn it.
For sure, and the guy that kind of has been continuing his strong play over the last couple of weeks, freshman Landon Gamble, another conference Player of the Week award for him, and really well-deserved.
Yeah, he's been the leading scorer about the last 4 straight games, has stepped up in terms of rebounding, and has figured out some things on defense in terms of positioning before the ball comes in. So he's certainly become a better, well-rounded player at the college level, and somebody that North Central really has leaned on down the stretch.
And going back to the Track Talk women's squad, did just as well in its version of the Cardinal Classic last weekend.
Yeah, and continuing to improve some of the qualifying marks. Sheila Walsh has moved up to 2nd in the country right now in the 400-meter dash, right behind the national champion from last year. And you know, the relay teams continue to be strong. seem to be in pretty good shape, as good a shape as they've been in quite some time to challenge for an indoor conference championship.
And you beat me to it a little bit there, sweeping the weekly conference honors with the school record breaker in Walsh and personal best and near school record with Chelsea Armstrong.
Yeah, and that was a big thing for them in the throwing events to have somebody step up there. That's one area where they haven't gotten a lot of points this season. They've only got 2 athletes competing in those events right now indoors. So that's going to be a huge help as they take on a team in Illinois Wesleyan that has several contributors returning from an outdoor national championship last spring.
And as we start to see the spring on the horizon, postseason here for some of the winter sports, as we already talked about the basketball, CCIWs, what can we expect when the Grapplers head to Sheboygan this weekend?
It's going to be a very tough regional. The defending team national champion Augsburg College is in that regional, as well as the CCIW teams that we've seen quite a bit of this year. Nathan Fitzenreiter is a defending champion at 133. We would expect him to go through and contend for All-American honors this year. Andrew Zobak's ranked 10th in the country at 141. Wrestled at 149 at the regional last year. He's dropped down a little bit this year. We'll have to see how that plays out. Greg Schroeder and Billy Malone have both placed in the top 4 at that regional before. Of course, they sat out last year, so it's a different field of guys. So several guys who are experienced, and then some guys in their first regional. We'll have to see how they react to that environment.
Well, Clark, we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
That's all the time we have for this week's edition of the Cardinal Report. We hope you can find the time to join us next week when we recap all the men's basketball CCIW tournament action. Same time, same place. I'm Alex Simmons. Thanks for watching.